उसको शफी जो मेरा गास है और लाडला बेटा तेरा.
The eighth question, some people refer to themselves as Sunnis. How can we differentiate between real or fake? We've already determined that. We should have by now determined who is a real Sunni, who is a fake Sunni. Wahhabi, Devbandi, Ahl Hadith, Ghair Muqallid, these are all false Sunnis. They are not real Sunnis. The true Sunnis are those who adhere to the correct Ahlul Sunnati wal Jamaat, which has another name of Maslak of Imam Ahmad Raza radiallahu anhu. And you have to be very careful about Devbandis and Jamaatis and Tablighis, because they are very deceiving. They'll come to you, they'll say, hum bhi milad manate hain, hum bhi salatu salam pढ़ते हैं, hum bhi fatiha करते हैं, हम भी कब्र पे जाके ईसाल करते हैं. They do that. They are very deceiving, and you must be careful from them. When a person comes to deceive you, he never comes and says कि मैं तुम्हें धोखा दे रहा हूँ, ये मैं तुम्हें बेच रहा हूँ, ये अच्छा नहीं है, लेकिन बाय कर लो. Nobody's gonna say that to you. They'll say ये बहुत अच्छा है, इसको ले लो, ये कपड़ा बहुत कीमती कपड़ा है, ये असली है, एकदम पेवर घी है, घी बहुत असली है, घी खरीद लो. They won't tell you the truth. So that's what deceiving people do, and it is common sense, and that's what these people do. And I'm not saying this just based on my experience. I'm saying this based on the constitution that the Tablighi Jamaat made themselves, which Allama Al-Qadri, Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi, Ra'isul Munazirin wal Mutakallimin, he opened for us, and we have seen it. And it says in there clearly that these Tablighi Jamaat, they have been ordered, the leaders have been ordered, and this was hidden, and Allama Al-Qadri made it apparent. The leaders were ordered that when you go to a village or a place or a town where people are of the Barelvi mentality, then blend into them. If there is a mazar there, then visit the mazar more than they do. Pray Fatiha there, stand up and recite Salatu Salam, and gain a position amongst them. And then after a few, and this may take a few years, this is what it says, it may take months, it may take years, but once you realize that now you hold a position where you tell them to stand, they will stand, you tell them to sit, they will sit, then tell them, this is haram, this is shirk, this is bid'ah. So that's why you have to be very careful. And they take over. Look at the Masjid of Gloucester Masjid in Gloucester. They've taken over. Devbandis have entered into it, they've infiltrated it, and now the Sunnis and Devbandis mixed in the Masjid. And you know what's going to happen in that. Because the Sunnis are such that wo bhi theek hai, ye bhi theek hai. So that's Sulh Kulliya. So they have all become one. Look at the Masjid in Harrow. Look at the Masjid in Harrow. For years and years they allowed Wahhabis to come in, and Shia, jo bhi aaye namaz padhe. Namaz to padhenge. In Harrow, for years and years, Wahhabis and all sorts came to pray namaz in this Jami Masjid in Harrow. Rich people run the masjid, plenty of cash in that masjid, beautiful masjid. And Ala Hazrat specifically said, the ahadith of the Prophet Muhammad specifically, not even ahadith, even the Quran says, فَلَا تَقُعُدْ بَعْدَ الذِّكْرَى مَعَ الْقَوْمِ الظَّالِمِينَ لَا تَرْكَنُوا إِلَى الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا فَتَمَسَّكُمُ النَّارِ. Do not sit with them, do not sit with them, the transgressors. Do not bow towards them or incline yourself towards them, otherwise the fire of hell will take you. So the Quran ordered us to do this. The Prophet ﷺ ordered us to stay away from them. And the Prophet ﷺ said, La tusallu ma'ahum. Unke saath namaz mat padho. In Muslim Sharif, Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiallahu anh says, the Prophet ﷺ said, فَإِيَّاكُمْ وَإِيَّاهُمْ. Keep yourselves away from them away from you. Ab baghil mein la ke namaz kaise padh rahe ho? So if they would have adhered to the ahadith and the Quran and the aqwal of the Imam, the masjid would have been safe. But they allowed them to come in. For years they carried on. And one day, last year, elections, they stood 12 men up. 12 Wahhabi men stood up in the election, they got voted. They won the votes. The Sunnis said that the votes were rigged, and it was falsely done. There were people who we had never seen, had nothing to do with the masjid coming and voting. So somehow they've still tried to maintain control, but it is very, very, it is in a lot of danger. And I think they're trying to settle now. Unfortunately, it's come to such a situation. They're trying to settle with half and half. So they will take over your masjid. Only if you followed the maslak of Ala Hazrat and his teachings, then you would have protected your masjid. Look at the Halifax masjid. पक्के सुन्नी है ना, देवबंदी को आने नहीं देंगे, वहाबी को नहीं आने देंगे, मस्जिद सेफ रहेगी, ठीक है? It will remain safe. Once you start to let them in, आने दो, वो भी मुसलमान है, भोले भाले है, so this is what happens, ठीक है? And that's why it is very important that you be very careful in these matters.